This is John Spoliar. Today is March 10th, and it is 5:50 p.m. This is a evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2.
In case you're interested, your 6 o'clock appointment is here.
Okay, I will, I'll be down in about 2 minutes, okay?
All right, yo.
Thank you. Looking at the chart.
Okay. I've got some here.
Here.
Okay.
There, have a seat.
I don't think I've ever been upstairs here before.
Okay. All right, I am John Spoliar. I am one of the 9 BAA members, and I'll be hearing your appeal tonight.
Great.
Okay. A few things for the record, and we're also being recorded, so just to let you know.
Perfect.
I just need to make sure I got a few things here
Sure.
correct. Okay, so the appeal number that we have here is 467, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, great. The owner is, are you Niam?
Yep.
Is that how you pronounce your name?
Nia?
Niam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Kerrigan?
That's right.
All right. The town has assessed your property at $492,700,
Mm-hmm.
and the ask amount to be reduced down to $430,000.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Okay.
Okay. And you are the owner of the house.
I am.
All right. I just need to swear you in then. Okay. If you can raise your hand, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, yes.
All right. Okay. And I'm just going to need you to fill this out saying that I swore at you.
Can I trade this?
Yes, I am more than happy to.
Thank you. Just here, please.
Yeah, you just need to sign it. And we'll get that at the end. Okay, so tell me about your appeal here.
So I was actually very shocked to get a 30% increase. I have not done any improvements to the house except for I added a gas fireplace, which I think you guys assessed it at $3,300 or $3,500, but it cost me $1,700 to do. And then also the 22% on the land was kind of shocking. Just knowing where our placement is, our neighborhood is in a very unique spot. It's exactly between the McDonald's and the train tracks where you guys were. And just recently, you guys took down all the trees that protect us from the sound from the train tracks. And that was because the roots of the trees were bringing us to tennis courts, right? So it was just much needed maintenance, and it was all explained to us, and I think we agreed. But the fact that 22% when you're literally living behind McDonald's, that, the trucks are there all night. They sit idle because there's not enough space for them. And just that unique position, you can literally hear the McDonald's. And these are things I just didn't know until you move in, right? These are things that, you look at the property, you like the house, you don't realize you're going to sit in the backyard and hear people's McDonald's orders in the back. But also, really, what was shocking to me is my neighbor a couple years ago, during the last assessment, they added 100% square footage to their home, and their assessment went up 50%, which was reasonable, in my opinion, because they doubled the square footage of their home. But when I looked, and I think you can go to this page of the road properties. I have every single house on the street, and I just wanted to see what the percentages were between us. And, it seemed like you guys gave everyone 22% increase for land. And then I was the only one who went up. Everyone else went down. So, down on property, I should say. So with that, the average was 12%. And for some reason, I'm coming in at almost 31% when I've done nothing new to the house. And then just from a property value, the people who own my house previous to me actually moved in next door, so I had the opportunity to ask them if they did anything as well. And they told me they hadn't, which I kind of knew because I have to do a lot of painting and things like that myself. But with that, I was kind of shocked. Theirs didn't go up that much. There's a few homes that I live in a cape, I think it says. The square footage and the houses are very similar to 143, 215, and 255 on the address properties, which is the second column. And I'm way above any of them from the full assessment on property, from the total, which is also just kind of shocking too. It seems like we're all out of sync. And I'm really just trying to understand and really get a better idea of how my number came in against everyone else's. Typically when you raise something, if the neighborhood is changing, something happens, especially when there's no change to the home. If I had done anything, if I added an addition, which also this makes me be interested if I do add anything in the future, how much it will be raised. But 30% uptick plus the 2% that was announced on the overall pricing, that's going to be a huge uptick for taxes. And I really just don't understand how we got here after being in the home for only a few years.
Let me just take a look at your property card.
Sure.
I
have everything.
Hillcrest Properties, So I do see here that looks like to your point about the fireplace, the gas insert. They came out and inspected, right? It looks like they made a change to your depreciation number code. I don't know what it was before, but it went to 5. I have something here about Looks like on 10-1, remove wood siding. Does that
Yep.
mean anything to you?
Yep. I removed the wood
Okay,
siding.
tell me about that.
I removed the wood siding because I went around and got pricing for wood, for painting versus adding vinyl.
Uh-huh.
And it was the exact same price. So
Okay.
that to me is really a uptick.
So you basically just switched over to vinyl?
Yep.
Okay.
I have a lot of windows, so with that, painting ends up being a little, even though it's not a big house, it ends up being really, really expensive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So you have the list of Hillcrest Properties here, right? Have any of these sold within the last 12 to 16 months?
Yes.
Okay.
The 190, which is the house that I was speaking of that doubled in size, they added a full, almost 100% square footage.
Okay.
And I think the 126.
Okay.
Now, the one other thing I meant to mention is if you look at the Google Maps, the house to the right of me has been empty for almost 15 years. So it just sits there too. So it's just like another thing about property assessment is understanding what's around you. But the house just is empty. No one lives there. I think the person who lives there has been in a nursing home for that long.
Is that 190 or 168?
That would be 168.
Okay.
In fact, both houses were empty for at least 4 years, but though I think it's 126 just finally sold.
When you say recently sold or just sold?
So they...
Before October or after October?
It would have been before October. I think it would have been September.
Okay. So you've got the numbers here.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. We can look up bedrooms and square feet and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the numbers to me don't. I obviously know better. They don't really make sense. They don't go in a lot of order, so I know it better by the name. Okay. Yeah, but I will put the address in for you.
All right. Okay. 3% rest of the street. So you're comparing with the rest of the street.
And just
how it is. Okay.
Considering it's my house, this is the house that backs up into the. I mean, Fairfield's the only town in Fairfield County that doesn't have a sound barrier for the whatever you want to call that, travel station, where all the other towns do have that. So it's definitely something that's noticeable. It's just a chain link fence.
Yep.
But all the other houses that depreciated for some reason don't, they're not up against anything. Because even the houses further down the street, it's hard to see here, but they're about, I'd say 20, there's a retainer wall there, about 20 feet. So their house actually faces a retainer wall and not the gas station, where mine is up on a hill and it faces right into the gas station.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we should know about or that I can bring to the board?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I guess the other question I would have for you is you mentioned that 5% depreciation change.
Well, it wasn't 5%. It was a code.
Okay.
So the code got switched to 5, it looks like. Okay. And then, and I'm not quite exactly sure what that does, but it says that the percentage of depreciation of the house is 30%. Okay. Looks like there's a 5% external obsolescence. So really the percent good that they calculated at is 65%.
Wow. No, my house is code switched. No one else's on the street was switched. The code was switched.
I don't know about that, but I believe it has to do with the code, because what I'm guessing, and again, this is just a guess, is that by adding the vinyl siding, and with the gas as well, that got added, somehow the depreciation code, they felt that, the assessor's office felt that the depreciation code should have been switched.
I would never have added a gas if I knew I had to pay just that amount every single year. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I might as well be getting a new gas thing every single year.
Yeah, and it says here that, again, percent good on the fireplace was 65%.
Yeah.
So, you did talk to the assessors about this?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did they tell you?
They didn't give me, they said it was just information where I was providing it to them, my concerns, and then they would review it and get back to me.
Okay, so that was the informal hearing.
Informal
right?
hearing, yep.
And I believe it said no change based on that?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Okay. All right. So let me tell you what the next steps are. So I will present what you've told me to the board, the majority of the board.
Okay.
We will deliberate and come to a decision. Okay. Within 7 days of that decision, you'll be notified via mail of the outcome. If we deny your appeal, then you can come back next year and appeal again. If we do make a reduction, you won't be able to appeal to the board for another 5 years. So basically until the next revaluation.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Either way, whatever the outcome is, you do have the right to challenge it in Superior Court.
Okay.
And within that statement that we send, with our decision, there'll be steps in there for if you want to go that route.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
We're trying to hold all of the 600 plus hearings that we have during March and deliberate as well. So hopefully by the latest you would hear back from us is going to be first week of April or so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? All right.
You give me the
Yeah, I need that. There?
What's the date?
Today is the 10th. All right, cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And sorry, one more question. That code 5, where can I find more information on that? Just on the website about what that means?
Actually, I think that somebody's in the assessor's office right now, so you could go down and ask them about it. Or the woman at the table, I believe she works in the assessor's office and could maybe point you in the right direction.
Okay, great.
So.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Have a seat right here, actually right here.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
You don't look so excited.
I know. Okay.
So do you have all my paperwork? Do you need anything from me?
I don't, we'll find out.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of stuff here,
Okay.
so we can go through that when we do the deliberation. First off, I'm John Collier. I'm one of the 9 members of the BAA. I'll be hearing your case tonight, or your appeal. I just do need to make sure that, oh, by the way, we are being recorded.
Okay.
All right. I need to make sure that I have the right information here.
Okay.
Okay, so the appeal number is 323.
That is correct.
Okay. The property that we're appealing is 863 Holland Hill Road.
That's correct.
Okay. And the owners are John and Elizabeth Lyons.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. The town has appraised the value at $491,900.
That's correct.
And the ask amount is $435,000.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And and you are the owner of the property?
I am. With my husband, I own the property.
Okay. All right. I just need to swear you in.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. And I will need you to sign that at some point, just saying I swore at you. That's it. Okay. You just leave that there, I'll pick it up. Okay, so, tell me about the appeal here.
I'm not appealing anything about the house. It's really the land, the property itself. Our house is very small. It's 2-bedroom. When we purchased it, it was even smaller. It was a 3-bedroom. I've been to the Board of Assessment before because it was 3 bedrooms. We had to change to 2 because even with the renovation we did, we added a 2nd floor. It was like 750 square feet. There was no way we could get 3 bedrooms in there. One of the reasons, or the most important reason, was when we renovated the renovated the property back in like 2007, 8, 9. We were working on it. The property was in a flood zone when we purchased it. We did petition FEMA and asked them to have the house itself removed from the flood zone because it sits on top of a hill. However, the flood zone still is part of the property, just the house is out of it. But if you can see from I brought a large copy of my survey.
I think that's the last thing here that we have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Smaller version.
Yeah, I don't know how clear it is. On the larger survey, and I'll just hold it out here. I'm going to here.
Nope.
As you can see, I'm getting started in that one. Here's the property. It was 1.5 when we renovated it. We were not able to go outside the footprint of it because of the fact that, number one, the flood zone came in here and the whole property was on a flood zone. Number two, if you look here at number 6 on the first on the addendum and the note, the wetland setback goes directly through the middle of the house, 79 feet from the wetlands area, and it goes right through the middle of the house. So preclude us from actually extending the house at all. The only thing they allowed us to do was put a very small shed on it, on the property over here. Anything else would be like excessive runoff. So we really can't do much with the house. The reason I'm saying that I think the property is a little overvalued is because I understand that there have been a lot of property purchases lately, subdivided, and the property theoretically is large enough to subdivide into 2 properties, 2 different houses. However, where the house sits on the property, far over here, you really can't expand much over, and the rest of the property, it drops off downhill, and that part down the hill is in the flood zone and in the wetland setback. So it really isn't something, it doesn't have that intrinsic value that some of these properties have. Well, you can sell it, sure you can get $500,000 for it, let's put 2 houses on it. I would love to think my house was worth $491,000, but I know that really isn't. And if I sold it, I would be lucky. You know, I see some other houses in the neighborhood being sold. It's small. There could be perhaps a little bump out on the driveway side. I was told once by conservation that even if you're outside the wetland setback, there is still wetland consideration anytime you're going to do anything.
Like a buffer zone.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot we can do with the house. We've kind of like maxed out everything we could do. And that being said, it was a big bump. It was like a $50,000 bump. And I just felt that plus the fact that we're really, really, really close to 95, or 354 feet from 95, and I provided a picture from my bedroom window where you can see Home Street, Route 1, and 95. I lived in New York for many years, so it's not horrible, but it's sitting outside at this time of year is really difficult. It's loud, and it's one of the things that kind of people look at it, and I know people have said to me that, like, I would never live on your side of the street. Mm-hmm. So that being said, that's kind of my argument. I don't have any arguments. Any improvements we do on the house, I understand that will bump up the assessment for that. But it's really the land value, which is a big increase, and that's where I'm asking for the relief.
Okay. And I'm looking, you have comparables here.
I did. I could not find a true comparable for this property because of the size, and it's very hard to find 2 bedrooms. I did find one on Jennings Road that was kind of close. That one sold for $1720 Jennings Road. That one sold for, what did it sell for? There's my glasses on. That one for $435, and that was last August.
Okay, has about 100 feet, or not even 100 feet more than yours. Smaller yard, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller yard. It's a flat yard. It's not in a flood zone. It's much farther from 95. It's a much nicer street. Jennings Road is really lovely. That's kind of the closest I could find. I have usual house, usual property. So it was very hard to find something that would work. I had an appraisal. When I refined it 2 years ago, I had an appraisal. And the appraisal came in at it was like 410 or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Okay. Something like that. Which I was happy because, it was maybe easier for us to have a refi. But again, that's kind of it. Is there anything else you have any questions you'd like me to answer?
I'm just looking here. So basically, after your comps, you have the various printouts for the houses that comp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want. I don't know if I think I included in there. I did get the wetland soils and setbacks from the town. I have the larger, I didn't get a big print out of it, and I have a detail showing that our house is in the Grassmere watershed area, and the setback is 79 feet. That's the Grassmere.
I guess. And you had it looks like you had an informal review with no change.
I did. I spoke to somebody who, I don't know, they didn't give me a lot. He goes, well, I see everything here. I think we understand each other. I said, okay, is there anything I can answer questions about? Or I said, you understand what I'm trying to do? And he was very nice. But I don't know, maybe I caught him at the end of the day. He was overwhelmed. He's like, no, I think everything's good here. It looks great. I was like, okay. It's hard to argue with someone who would agree with you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to argue. I
Yeah,
Understand, it's an unusual property for Fairfield.
you said it was the Grassmere
Yes.
wetland?
Mm-hmm. Where's mine? I can give you that I have a copy of it here, if that makes it easier for you.
And I've got the smaller version, I have the one that you colored, I just want to know the name of it.
I did.
Of what it's called.
It's the, may I bring this over?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, that one there, okay.
And I have the detail on it too. I could actually, I did a little pointer on it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you need this back? Or
I don't, no,
okay.
no.
All right, I just want to enter it in there so I can explain about that to there. And you mentioned it to the town that you had the, right, that it's in a wetlands area?
I did, yeah, I did mention that. I did, the wetland stuff. I didn't realize the wetland setbacks went to the house. We went to a porch, we wanted to add a porch.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed us to do it, it wasn't because it was going to be increased runoff. They said, we have this wetland setback in the middle of your house, and I had never, I looked at the survey for a lot of different reasons, and I didn't really realize that line through the middle of it was, the setback was right through the middle of the house. The house is 1874, so
yeah.
It's pretty old, and it was, not as charming as some of these older houses in Fairfield. We like to call it not a farmhouse, but a farmhand's house.
You okay? All right. Okay. And it looks like I can probably answer my own question here. You did get, it looks like there was a change by the BAA about 10 years ago.
Yes, that was when we changed from 3 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms.
Okay.
It was a very strange, the house was so small, and it was very, I couldn't figure out what the 3 bedrooms were, just the way it was laid out. It was very confusing.
Okay.
And there was no way we could make it 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
I just said, we're just going to go with 2 bedrooms and leave it at that. Make 2 nice bedrooms instead of some crazy 3rd bedroom, just to, someday if we sell it, somebody chooses 3 bedrooms.
And it looks like that the last updates you made was the addition in 2011, correct?
The addition, yeah, oh yeah, that was when we did the upper floors.
Yeah.
And we did the porch after that. We did a front porch after that.
I see the porch.
That was added in.
Okay, anything else that I should be aware of or that I can bring to the board?
I hope I've made my case.
Okay.
It's based on where the property is and everything. It seemed like a very big increase based on the land. When I first saw the number, I said, wow, I thought the whole assessment went up, and really the land portion of the assessment.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt that, based on these restrictions that we have, that we couldn't build out, and there's a lot of things we can't do, and it does not have the value that it would for a property that could be subdivided. We thought the land portion of it was high.
Okay. All right, well, let me tell you what the next steps are.
Okay.
So I will present what you presented to me to the majority of the board.
Mm-hmm.
We will deliberate about it and come to a decision. Okay. Within 7 days of reaching a decision, you'll be notified via mail what the decision was. Okay. If we deny your appeal, you'll be able to come back next year to the Board of Assessment and reappeal. If we do make a reduction in your value, you won't be able to reappeal for another 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, which is basically the next revaluation period.
Okay.
Okay. Either way, if you disagree with the outcome of the board, you have the right to go to Superior Court and challenge it there. And those steps or those next steps will be included with the decision letter that you get in the mail. Okay. We're trying to hear all 650 or so appeals this month and deliberate on them. So hopefully you know, if we're able to do it, the latest you would hear back from us is first week of April.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. Just in terms of, is it what I've requested, or is there like another, you might say, well, I agree with her, but I don't agree with the number. Is that a possibility?
Yes, I mean, we could give you, you know, reduce it full.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I did forget to mention, did you know, you did have the comments in here, that's right. Or we could give you a partial appeal, so we may say, you know, we do have the right to say, okay, we agree that it shouldn't be what it is, but it shouldn't be the full amount, so we could vote for a partial as well.
Okay. Well, I hope it goes through the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
I'll
it.
put that on the table, right?
Yep, I'll just grab that right
Well,
now.
we're not going to do anything first week of April, right?
What's that?
First week of April.
First week, that's our goal, is to have all the notices out by then.
Okay. When do you think, so your goal is to get that done in order to, in order to get everything in order before the mill rate gets released?
Correct. I mean, what we need to get the grand list set before they can determine the mill rate based on what is voted with the Board of Selectmen, the whole budget process with the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Finance, and the RTM.
Got it. All right.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Door open?
Yeah, that's fine. There?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm John Spolier. I'm one of the members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'll be hearing your appeal tonight.
Yeah.
You're also being recorded.
Thank you.
With that.
Yeah.
I just need to go through a few things for the record, but also just to make sure we got the right information here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the appeal number is 274.
Yeah.
Property address that we're appealing is 118 Judd Street.
Yes.
Okay, the owner is Madan and Sashi. Did I pronounce that right?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. And is it Chawala?
Chawla. Yeah.
Okay. The town has a value of $453,900, and you're asking that to be reduced to $400,000.
Even 400,000, the way I looked into it, if we get 400, in our pocket will not get more than 360, because 5% commission and 5% for setting up the house. So technically, we'll get not only more than 360, even we got 400. That's what I tried a couple of times.
So you're asking for 360?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. This is what I would like to have it.
Okay.
And the Little background, I can give mine.
Okay, hold on for a second. Can I just swear you in first? You guys are the owners of the property, I'm
Yes.
assuming. Okay, great. I just need to swear you in, before you tell me, or we start talking about that. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right, and I will just eventually need you to sign that to say I swore you in,
Yeah.
but.
You have to sign these.
Yep, okay,
Yeah.
all right, so, I just want to make a note here for 360 for the evaluation. Okay, so tell me about what you were gonna say about.
Well, I've been in this town 36, 37 years.
Okay.
And this is the first time I'm here coming for an appeal. I just turned 76 today, and
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Unfortunately, 7 years back, I lost my business. We had to declare bankruptcy.
Okay,
And then after, I've been a consultant.
okay,
And 2019, we refinanced the property because of all what was happening. So we had to refinance this to get some better rates.
okay,
And right now, we owe $341,000 on the property. Last year, due to COVID, I lost my consulting job.
okay,
And now my wife, she works for People's Bank, and they got sold. So most likely she's going to lose it end of this
the
year.
M&T.
M&T Bank,
Yeah.
My concern and request is that personally me, this is the only liquid and or fixed asset I have in my name.
Okay,
This is the only, and I have 3 kids and 3 grandkids, and I would like to retain the property, and I would honestly request that if the taxes are reduced for me, and I would try to see if I can get refinanced at a lower rate so I can keep the property for the rest of my life. I've been here 37 years. My son was born in this house.
okay,
My other kids, I moved from New York in
Okay.
1984. And this is my request to see if you can evaluate it and assist me in retaining the property so that my kids and grandkids could be with me.
okay. Do you have any houses, or do you have any examples of houses that were sold recently near you of comparable size?
The thing is that I try to do real estate myself. I've been a real estate agent myself. It is from house to house and how old the house is. And at one time, people would say, 2 3 years back, people said it is worth $420,000, $430,000. I said, okay. I put it on the market, I couldn't even get 400.
Okay,
I could not get 400. And I said, if I get 390 and I pay, and I had to spend another 20,000 to really fix it up so that it could be sold. So my experience is bad on that point. Being a real estate agent myself, people may say it will be 500. People say any value, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a customer taking it. And another thing, my personal view, like I said, this is the only asset I have. And for me, whatever valuation is placed, if it increases the taxes, it will make another hardship for me to pay the taxes. It will be hardship for me. I'm maintaining it right now. I've maintained for 36, 37. In July, it will be 37 years.
okay,
And I want to do. I'm ready to work. If I get a job tomorrow, I get a $100,000 job, I'll come back myself. And I say, listen, guys, I don't need any reduction taxes. Put any evaluation you want.
okay.
And I mean it. I'm saying it on record.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a partner to work.
Yep,
Her father, he came here in this country and he was 67 years old. He got a supplementary social security check in the May for 430. He says, I never worked here. I don't need charity. I said, okay, send it back. He says, okay, then what do we do? We helped him get a job in the city of Bridgeport. He worked full-time for 19 years.
Wow.
Until and he got his own property in between Fairfield, Bridgeport Town Line, 2612 North Avenue.
Okay.
And he worked hard till 86. I'm 76, I'm ready to work. I'm applying for, on LinkedIn and on every place I'm applying. If I get a good job tomorrow, I don't need the rebate in taxes. I mean it. I'm saying, I want to say it on record. But right now, I need it.
Okay. So one of the things, or where we really need to like get, well, actually, hold on for a second. When you said you tried to sell your house for $410,000, was that back in 2010?
No, even later on, I think not 2010, it was way lower, 380 or something.
Okay.
But later on, I tried to sell it, and I couldn't get it. And now people say whatever the valuation, but for me, if I'm living in the house, for me, whatever value, if they put it on paper, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
If I can't pay the taxes and because of COVID, I lost my job, she's going to do people's bank job. What do we do? And on record, this is the only asset I have.
Okay. So a lot of our decision is based on comparable sales for like other houses in the area. So if you are able to bring us comparable, houses that have by you that have sold that are in similar size, similar property size, that will help us, that will give us something to go on. Okay. So that's just one of the things that I need to let you know is that really, if we change a price, it has to be based on recent sales, like within the last year or so. Okay. Having said that, have you talked to the assessor's office about getting the senior tax relief at all?
No.
This is the first time I do, and I put an application to them on February 16th. I have a copy of the letter, I sent it.
Yep, I have that right here.
And I requested that, and I stated the facts over there. And in addition to that, now the fact is that last week you heard that even she's going to do the job. But we want to keep the house, and on record, this is the only property I have.
Yep. So.
I mean, you can look at it as a hardship, or you look at it on the property value, or anything. I would request it to be reduced instead of increasing it so that we can maintain and keep the house for us and for our grandkids. My two grandkids are in Milford, and they, sometimes we need to pick up and bring them to help my daughter cope with work. Okay. So it's a dual thing. Means, valuation is if we are selling it. Right now, I can't afford to sell. I have to live in it.
Yeah.
I have to live in the property.
Okay.
As long as I can. Because if I go anywhere else, the rental is going to be $2,000. And more than $2,000. So then I don't get nothing.
Yeah. I understand.
So it's a two-pronged thing. Whether reduction or anything. And that's the only choice I have.
Okay.
And I want the town consideration to help us because I've paid taxes here for 45 years. And I never, like I said, 37 years, I never asked for any break or anything because I knew I can manage it. But now it is a situation that I do need to retain the house and have. That's simple as that.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you what the next steps are. All right. I will present what you've shared with me.
Thank you.
To the rest of the board, or to the majority of the board.
Thank you.
We will deliberate and come to a decision as a board.
Thank you.
Within 7 days of coming to the decision, you'll receive a notice in the mail of what the decision was by the board. Okay? If we deny the appeal, you'll have the right to come back next year and appeal again. If we do make a reduction, you're not able to appeal for another 5 years, okay, which is the next reassessment period. Either way, if you don't agree with the decision, you do have the right to appeal it in Superior Court. Okay? And that information will be included with the decision letter that you receive. Okay, we have over 600 appeals to hear and deliberate and decide on. We're going to try to do that all in March. So if everything goes as planned, the latest you would hear back is going to be first week of April. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So, and, what I would suggest, okay, because it sounds like you haven't heard about the town senior, tax relief program, okay? Is that when the woman who checked you in, okay, ask her if you can get some more information from the assessor's office, because there is a program, through the town to help with taxes for seniors. And it sounds like you may qualify for that. I can't guarantee that you will, but, it would be worth your time, I would suggest, to take a look at that.
One question.
Yeah.
That senior thing which you are mentioning,
Yes.
would that be in addition to what you are saying, but if the same board is going to review it, I've stated the facts.
Yep.
And I'm going to sign it here.
No, this is totally different from, that senior program, the senior tax relief program, is separate from your town assessment.
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought if it went one shot, if it could be decided, I don't have to do anything, with their time or something.
yeah, no, it's different entities, so.
So, fine,
Yep.
I hear it, and if they do it, and so if we go to the senior for the debate, and when you said that if we are not in agreement with the board decision, if quote unquote, I hope that you have a right agreement. What is the thing you mentioned of that we can go to Superior Court for what? What would they do and what is their consideration? Just
They could override our decision and reduce it more or reduce it to a different value. So if we deny the appeal, they could override what we did potentially. They could say, yes, I agree in that it should be 400,000 or 360,000. Or they could end up saying, I'm sorry, but what the Board of Assessment Appeals said was correct.
Now, if the court would do, just out of the way I'm saying, would that be, court would do it on compassionate grounds, the facts, or they would also be realistic? Meaning the town board would say, yes, it means, that's what I'm requesting, but if they say no, what will be the basis for the Superior Court to decide?
They would decide, I don't have the full answer to that, but they would take in what we're recording now and then what was said in the deliberations as well, and the evidence you presented as well. They would take into account that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I was trying to see that not go for anything, even the senior thing or for the Superior Court. If the decision is given here, I'll be happy, and like I said, if I get a job, I won't even need any of that.
Yep.
Which I'm really working on. So I appreciate your time.
Okay.
And
well, thank you very much. And again, I would check into that because regardless, it's income-based for seniors, and so it may be something that could be available or at least temporary. I'm not quite sure exactly how it works. I just know that it's there and it's available. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
John.
John.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Anything I need to give?
Nope.
No.
You're all set.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
You too.
Take care.
All right. What time is it? 49. Okay. How you doing tonight?
You?
I'm doing very fine. All right, come on in, have a seat.
Right here? Okay.
Yep.
All right, let me give you what I have, which I had dropped, thought I could drop off this afternoon. She said, no.
Bring it in?
Bring it in. So I said,
Okay.
all right. I don't know what you need. This is my.
Anything you wanna present to the board for the file?
Okay. Do you need my property card?
No. I mean, we have, I think we have.
I know, but I meant to make life easier for you.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
All right, so, my name's John Spoliar. I am one of the 9 members of the board.
I didn't hear your name. I didn't catch your name. John?
Okay. John Spoliar, Spoliar.
Oh,
Spoliar, yep.
Spoliar.
Yep.
Okay, you're on the board.
Okay. And I'll be hearing your appeal tonight, as well as it will be recorded.
Okay.
Okay. So I just need to go over some things for the record and to make sure we have the right information.
Of course.
So your appeal number is 246?
Yes.
Okay. And the property that we're appealing is located at 541 Judd Street?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The owner of the property is Deidre Campbell?
Which you're speaking to.
Okay. The town has your property appraised at $454,500.
Yep.
And you're asking that the town reduce your appraised value to $420,000.
Right.
Okay, and you've already stated that you are the owner of the house. I just need to swear you in.
Okay.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me.
All right. Okay. So, tell me about...
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you for, staying on the board. Okay, and obviously I'm contesting the property assessment and the property cost attached. Okay, and I especially am appraisal assessment on my land, which has increased 22%. And I'm also very grateful they reduced my dump of a house by 15%.
Okay.
Okay, but, that's... Here, it's the land that I'm really focusing on. Okay, and I reviewed the property appraisal assessments for Judd Street from Katona to Stilson, which is 26 properties. Mayfair, which is to my north, it's the first street to my north coming out on Judd, and that's south to number 444. Those are 11 properties I looked at. Reed Street, which is to my what would you say, south also, we're going south, from Judd down to number 86, which is 7 properties, and most importantly, Ray's Ranches, which is what I have, sold from October 1st of 19 to October 1st of the 20, which is 15 properties.
Okay.
And I even reviewed properties on Round Hill only because of my girlfriend, right across from the Fairfield U, because they have received a reduction.
Okay.
Most of them by 12 or 14%. And I'm sure you're familiar with this study. Okay. Now, my initial focus, of course, as I said, is land assessment. And I have found the majority of the properties were all increased exactly 22%. So my question is, what is with this magic number?
Okay.
Okay. So on Judd Street, I looked at 681. Which was a ranch. I looked at them all, of course. Okay.
And these ones here are ones that sold within the last year?
No.
Okay.
These are just...
Oh, okay. See, on the next page
on the next page, I've got the raised ranches sold.
Okay.
Okay, so on Judd Street, and I've done the gamut from Katona up to Stilson. Okay. Now, a lot of them are much bigger and nicer. So, of course, I looked at them, but, I'm not bringing those up as comparison. The 681 is a ranch. It's appraised at $435,400, okay?
versus me, 454,500. So it's 19,100 less,
Mm-hmm.
or 4%, and there's same living square feet, living, like they call it living square feet, okay.
Yep.
The land is 2,572 square feet more. So I'm saying, why are they less than me? Then the next one, 693, is a ranch. That's appraised at 421 versus me, which is 33,500 less, or 8%. Same living square feet. But the land is again 2,092 square feet, or 17% more. And the third one I look at on Judd, and this happened to be a raised ranch, and it will be addressed in the raised ranch sold, because it was sold this year.
Mm-hmm.
Number 425. Now, in addition, and this is, I'm not advocating for my neighbors, but I was astounded. 508 and 528, they're across the street from me.
Okay.
And one of them was built in 1896. And they have gotten a whopping 27% increase. And they are on a postage stamp of property. And that's been assessed at 62%. So they've gone up. Phenomenal. And my other neighbor at a ranch, their house has been appraised 43% higher. So these are just questions that I have. And their land, which is, they have a nice piece of property. I wouldn't say big. It's one like mine, 1,022, I think. Anyhow, but that went up 62%, and I've been seeing consistently 22%. I'm not advocating for them, but I'm raising the question, why?
Okay.
Okay. Now on Reed Street, which is on my corner,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one I felt, and I only went back, I didn't go back more, 35, number 35, which is a cape, and that's appraised for 401,600. The living and the land square foot is comparable to mine, yet mine is 52,900 more. I did raise this question, and I'm saying, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Number 46 on Reed is it's assessed at 572. 7 rooms. I went back and looked at it because you never see it from the road. It's on a back lot.
Okay.
I can't figure it out. I cannot. It's bizarre. And they claim, according to the property thing, that they have 29,185 square feet of land, which would contribute to it, but it's a split level. And it's, I don't know, 7 rooms. In other words, it's nothing outstanding. It's not as big or as new as others of that price. I can't figure it out. Again, I'm not advocating for them, but I'm saying there's something that's not jiving. That's all I can say. Mayfair, which is on my other side, again, all the land was appraised at 22%, and those houses, I didn't go back too far. I think I went back to like 144, something like that. There's some caves, some razor, and whatever, but they're all, my pricing was not a little bit more, but they're 22% for the land, and some of their land is bigger. And mine, that's all I keep saying. Okay, now the raised ranches that were sold.
Yep.
Okay, 365 Churchill was appraised at 437,300 versus 454. Okay, so that's 17,200 less. Same house, it's a raised ranch, and it's same land square footage. I keep saying footage. Square footage. 4,732 more, and yet appraised only 16% versus my 22%.
This is the Churchill by Churchill Road.
Right.
Okay.
Churchill Road. Then you've got your Ward Terrace.
Okay.
342, and that was appraised at 446,100 versus mine. So that one is 8,400 less than mine.
Yep.
Same house, land square footage is pretty close to mine. Mine is 110,088. And by the way, that's incorrect because the back, one side of my house is only 55 feet running on Reed, which, but the other is 100 by 100. That I get why they got the 10. Okay. I just throw that in. Okay, and then 34 Mayflower Road, I addressed 425 Judge Street, the one I said that was, what you sold, and you find it with the raised ranches, was appraised at 444,300 versus mine, which is 10,200 less. Same house, land square footage, to a little bit more than mine. And again, of course, appraised at 22%. Then 34 Mayflower Circle, appraised at 433,000 versus mine. Again, 21,500 less than mine. Same house, land square footage. In this case, the land square footage is a little bit more than mine. It's 829, which is, not that much. And again, appraised at 22%. Furthermore, those are the ones that I found that I felt I had some leverage with her. I thought
Or comparable sales.
Comparable and sales and existing houses, etc. Okay. Now, furthermore, every house that I have reviewed is listed as having hardwood floors. I don't have any. I wish I did. It's carpeting and tile in the bathrooms.
And let me just check something here.
Sure.
Real quick.
They all say hardwood and then carpet, but mine does not say hardwood.
I just want to pull up your card here, your field card.
Oh, you should have it right in front of you, too. I thought I gave it to you.
Well, you know what? It is in here.
It just makes life easier for me.
Yes, it does.
I wanted to show you.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
You got it?
Yep. I just want to see. Okay, so it looks like did you try selling the house in 2010?
No.
No? Okay. It just says data mailer, hardwood floors.
I talked to somebody in the assessors, it only took from 2002 to, or three, whenever that assessment was, soon after I moved in, which I moved in 2002.
Yep.
It took you very recently for me to get them to remove the word hardwood floors from my, what?
Okay.
That's right. Okay. But believe me, it was removed before this assessment took place.
The hardwood floors? Right. Okay. So you don't have hardwood floors
I
in
wish
your
I
car?
did. I do not. And I don't have them on my card.
Okay.
Everyone else, every house that I have mentioned does say hardwood floors.
Okay.
Okay, now, last but not least, and this is kind of quirky, my property wasn't ideal. Okay, it is on a corner, Judd and Reed.
Okay.
And it has been subject to many major accidents. For example, several years ago, a police cruiser landed, I kid you not, poor young guy, fully on my front yard, taking down 6 feet of mature hedges, barely missing my blue atlas. Okay? It took months to replace the hedges, I'll tell you, because you all don't have, you're self-insured, so I didn't even have the help of a claims adjuster.
Okay.
None in the nurseries that type of watch. Okay, but the bottom line is, I had to take, finally, one of the guys came and said, take from your back property and we'll move it up and blah, blah, blah. Okay, there have been at least 3 more accidents, if not more. Seriously, if you saw a neighbor's fence, you would understand it. And just 2 weeks ago, my driver took the corner fast, swerved, and took down my mailbox.
Okay.
And box, which, by the way, was not on the corner. Was on the other side of my driveway goes out to Reed.
Okay.
It goes, so it was, believe me, not sitting on the corner. It was down probably 40 feet down from the corner.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's basically what I have discovered in my research.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And it's all I can say at this point. I'm looking to see, there is some fairness.
Okay.
And look, I don't know, where do I get answers about some of it, like not my crazy neighbors, that they're lovely. It's the, why is there, I don't understand. Maybe I'm not privy to that knowledge.
So, what I would suggest doing is, I believe the woman at the front desk who checked you in, I believe she works in the assessor's office.
She does.
So, or if not, she can get somebody in the assessor's office. I think there's somebody there, and they might be able to explain a little bit more
Okay,
to
because
you
I would really,
about that.
I feel that they're dear friends of mine, and I have not said a word.
And how did
them.
Yep. And how did you come up with the 420,000?
I just feel that, my house has not appreciated. I wish a lot of people have redone their kitchens, they've redone their bathrooms. Unfortunately, I haven't had the money to do that.
Okay.
So it's with the same stuff.
Since you bought it? Okay.
In 2002, and believe me, it was not built with the best of stuff, if you get my drift. I would love to replace all of it. So that's how I just kind of ballparked it.
Okay.
And I don't think my property is coveted as maybe some people might think.
Okay.
Because of nobody knows what it's like to live on a corner. And I used to, as a kid, think, oh, corner property was wonderful. Well, guess what?
I live on the corner too, so.
So you kind of know what I'm talking about, right? And lately, not since, well, a little bit of COVID too, but certainly when the university was in full form, 18-wheelers were coming down Reed Street, as well as Judd, avoiding Black Rock. And I get police cars and fire engines coming down Judd all the time.
Okay.
And that's because they're avoiding Black Rock and the license stuff. I understand it. I don't like the low riders flying by, the kids racing and stuff like that. But I came from Reading. It took me and my daughter about probably 6 to 8 months to try to sleep through the night because of all the noise. So anyhow, but that's where I'm coming from. I don't think my land is coveted.
Okay.
All right, and it's not 100 by 100.
All right.
It's 100 and 100 this way, but this back thing goes like this, and I paced it out. It's 55 feet.
Okay.
On the Reed side, it's 55 feet. So I'm not, nickel-diming. It is, minuscule.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank
So
you.
let me just tell you what will happen next.
Yes.
So I will take what you told me, okay, and present it to the majority of the board. We will deliberate on it and then come to a decision. Within 7 days after the decision is made, you'll be notified via mail. Okay. We could deny the appeal, and if we do, you have the right to come back and appeal next year. If we do make a change, reduce your amount, then you're not able to appeal to the Board of Assessors for another 5 years. Okay? Either way, if you don't agree with the outcome from the board, you do have the right to go to Superior Court, and appeal it there, and there'll be information in the letter you get with the decision,
Now, what is the timing of the board?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so we are trying to hear all 600 plus appeals during the month of March, as well as deliberate and come to decisions. So if we can do that, then the latest you'll hear from us would be April, first week of April. If we can get through it all.
Much time in order for the July 1st tax.
Yes, exactly. So we need to set the grand list so that it can match up with the budget, and then that gets the mill rate.
Right.
So, yep, exactly.
And I know from talking to the guy from the assessor firm that they had, because of COVID, there was no going to see any houses.
Yep.
And they did not visit any property, et cetera. It was all kind of done using general figures and stuff.
That's usually how they do it. I've
Really?
come to learn.
Oh, okay. I thought
This is a mass appraisal. And every 10 years, the town is required to do physical inspections.
Yeah.
That was done 5 years ago.
Because nobody's ever got into my house.
Okay.
And 5 years ago, I was retired, so I don't know why, but I was never approached to come in and, because I could show them exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But, anyway, thank you.
All right, great, thank you very
All
much.
right, I don't know, it's like it in writing, because I think it makes life a lot easier.
Yep, thank you, I appreciate that.
And time-wise, good.
Yep, so again, you may wanna see with the woman at the
When
front
they
desk
get
if they
No,
can come
I'm
back.
really, I'm concerned, I really am. And this blanket property land, I was amazed at how many, I did
Mhm.
appraisal assessment.
I think they do it based on the neighborhood code that you have, so.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, don't take it from me, I'm not the assessor's office,
I
I'm
know.
not part of the appraisal group that was hired, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just find it rather interesting,
yep,
to put it mildly.
okay.
Should I leave this open?
Okay, you can leave that open.
Okay. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Hey, Peter, how are you? Yeah. No big deal. Okay. All right, have a seat there. Okay. I am John Spolier. I am one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'll be hearing your appeal tonight. I just need to, for the record, because we are recording this, make sure that we have the right information. So we're talking about appeal number 89. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. The property, that address that's being appealed is 46 Sleepy Hollow Road.
Correct.
The owner is Lauren Thomas.
Correct.
Okay. The town value is $471,900, and you're asking it to be reduced down to $415,000.
Correct.
Okay. And you are the owner of the house? You are the owner of the house? Okay. I just need to swear you in.
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, tell me about why you're appealing and...
Sure. So most of the information was submitted in my attachment A there, but I'll just walk through the major points I wanted to point out.
Okay.
There's been no major improvements to the property at 46 Sleepy Hollow in the last 5 years, so I moved to completing a comparative market analysis of recent sales in the neighborhood. The source of the compiled data I provided in the comparative market analysis, which was attachment A, is all from Zillow. That's where I obtained the information. I selected 7 comparative properties in the base period, so I used the period represented, which was October 1st, 2019 through October 1st, 2020.
Good.
And all properties that I selected are within 1.5 miles of my property. Actually, 6 of them are within 1 mile, and there was one that was a little over 1.5.
Okay.
So the first step I did was analyzing the sales price. So all comparative properties sold were in the range of $415,000 to $435,000, as compared to the appraised value of $471,900.
Okay.
Next, following the guidelines set in the town's webcast that I participated and listened to, I compared the major factors of lot size. And I actually have an updated attachment 1 because I did not include that on the...
Do you want to include it in the file?
Yep.
Okay, we can have it scanned in and put it on the way. Let's make sure. Here, I'll trade you. I'll just need to have Lauren sign that. Okay.
So following the town's webcast, I compared the main factors. So I did lot size, house square footage, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, and the garage structure.
Okay.
And I ranked those as either superior, comparable, or inferior to my property.
Okay.
Those are all included on the attachment 1 that was submitted and the resubmitted one I just provided. So a few points to highlight there. All properties reviewed had a comparable or greater lot size. 3 of the properties had greater lot sizes in the range of 0.32 to 0.61 acres as compared to Sleepy Hollow that has 0.23 acres.
Okay.
All properties reviewed had greater square footage. One property, the one on Robin Lane, was fairly comparable with only a difference of 18 square footage. The other 6 properties had greater square footage in the range of 152 to 1,138 square footage. All properties reviewed had comparable number of bedrooms, with Sleepy Hollow at 3 bedrooms, with the exception of one property on Rock Major Road, which had a greater number of bedrooms at 5. And then all property reviewed had greater number of bathrooms in the range of 2 to 3 bathrooms as compared to Sleepy Hollow that only has 1 bathroom. Pretty much the smallest house.
Okay.
And then all properties that were reviewed had garages as compared to no garage at Sleepy Hollow. So based on the market analysis comparison of the recent comparable sales of those 7 properties, the average selling price was approximately $429,000.
Okay, yeah.
So downward adjustments to the average selling price for those properties with greater lot sizes, greater square footage, greater number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and garages, all compiled in that attachment A, led me to the property value of $415,000.
Okay. All right, let me just take a look here. There were, with the card. And you have your information here from the, okay. Okay. All right, so you have the comps here. As you said, they're all up to 1.5 miles away. Based on the comps, you know, you're showing here that they all sold less than for what your appraised value is, right? Just making sure I got all this right.
Yep.
Okay. And
they're all greater.
All have bigger square footage in them. All have a garage, whereas yours does not. Most have the same bedrooms. As you said, Rock Major Road has 2 more. Okay. And bathrooms are there, difference in bathrooms. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we should know about?
No, the only thing I was gonna say is, we're one of the smaller houses, so those were the best comparable we could obviously get. But those are all, have greater attributes than our house that sold for less.
Okay. All right. So here's what the next steps are, is I will take the information that you've provided and present it to the majority of the board.
Okay.
Okay. We'll deliberate and come to a decision. Once we come to a decision, you'll be notified within 7 days of what the decision was. If we deny the appeal, you can come back and appeal again next year.
Okay.
All right. If we do make an adjustment, you aren't able to appeal for another 5 years, which is the next assessment period. Okay. Either way, if you don't agree with the decision of the board, you do have the right to go to Superior Court and appeal it there.
Okay.
That information will be in with the letter you'll receive with the board's decision. Okay, for the next steps. We are trying to hear all 600 plus appeals, deliberate and have a decision within the month of March. So if all goes according to plan, you should hear back at the latest of a decision by the first week of April. Okay? All right.
Thank you. The only other thing, you said the right town value, but I did notice on the form I submitted, I had 471,500 versus 471,900.
Okay, let me just double check. Maybe I...
You said it correctly, and
okay, yep.
I crossed it out on this one.
That's fine.
In the actual letter I put together, I have it correct, so.
Okay. All right.
So you have the original letter I submitted?
Yes, I do have the original letter here
Yep.
to the Board of Appeals.
And then I just provided the updated attachment one.
And so what I'll do is we'll get the updated one scanned into the file online
Okay,
for
perfect.
you.
So we get this back to you, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Bye now,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
Okay. All right. All right, come on in and have a seat. I feel like a doctor here. Looking over the file, you know. All right. I am John Foliar. I am one of the 9 BAA members, or Board of Assessment Appeal members. And I will be hearing your appeal tonight, as well as it's being recorded online. Okay. So I just need to go over a few things for the record, as well as make sure that we have the right data. This is appeal number 57, correct? At least that's what I have.
Yes.
Okay. The property address is 167 Lovers Lane.
Correct.
The owners of the property are Michael and Carol Goodzik.
Yes.
Is it Goodzik or Goodzik?
That's it, you got it.
Goodzik. Okay. The town value is $469,200, and you are asking for it to be reduced to $296,000. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't think we put a value down, but we want to reduce some of what it is, yes.
Okay. Well, that's the value we have here. Okay. And that's what was on the list here for it. Except for the town's value you have on your statement is $300.
Oh, yes, okay, yes, we did put that, yeah.
Okay. All right, so, and you are the owners of the house? Okay. All right, good. I just need to swear you in.
Okay.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Let's mark the time here, 7:32. Okay. So, tell me about the appeal.
Okay, first off, we don't understand really all of this. I mean, we're being open and honest. I did my research, like they said, where you go to look for houses that sold in your, I did it off the thing, I got the street listings. Okay, granted, some of them are the same as ours, some have more and everything, but look at the year that it was.
Okay.
Where these people came in from New York or wherever and spent the top dollar for these houses. Are they really worth it? And no. Some have more bathrooms, some have more bedrooms and stuff than we do.
Okay.
So that's our big right. Plus, I know you say it goes by the house, but if you see what's across the street from us, the condos, 2-family zoning, and that whole side of the street dropped, and ours goes up, no. Our side of the street goes up, that's just not.
Okay, so condos across the street went down.
Condos and houses.
Okay.
That side of the house, that side of the road is a
2-family zoning.
Okay.
So they can get rent. Like, there's a 2-family there, she gets rent off of her other little unit on her house.
Okay. So it seems like you're in one zone, across the street's another zone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I don't see any comparables here. Did you bring any to discuss with or
Well, I just-
of sales?
I mean, like, I just did the whole listing. I didn't, like I said, this is all new. We don't know
Mhm.
how to do it. So, do I have anything? No, I have everyone that was listed in 080 for that sold last year. I just went through this whole list and looked to myself, you know,
Okay.
compared prices and stuff like that, what they had, what we don't have, to see the pricing and that. It's just,
Can I have a copy of that, just for the file, so when we deliberate, we can look at that?
okay.
I mean, you can even take it if you want,
Yeah.
I can reprint it off of the,
Because what we'll do is we'll enter it into the file.
Yeah, because these are just my notes that I took off of there, what
Okay.
they have and what we have.
Okay.
You know, but that's what sold last year, according to Fairfield.
Okay.
You said.
And then on ours, do you
Yeah.
have our plot there, or our plan?
I do have.
Okay, are they charging us for our shed?
Are they charging you for the shed? I am not sure.
Because it's not a permanent fixture, and I see it on here.
Looks like you had a second story addition in 2000?
Yes,
2?
yes,
Okay. And that was the last work on there?
yes. But
Okay.
it's,
When was the shed added?
oh, it's always been there.
It's always been there.
And I just noticed now that when we went over, had to go through everything. Oh, here, down here, it has a shed.
Yep, I see on the outbuildings, there
2000.
is a shed frame of appraised value.
Okay, that's not a permanent fixture. That's not cemented or
It's on the
it's,
ground.
it goes when we go.
Okay. Okay, so the shed is not a permanent fixture.
No.
I've noticed that, I noted that. Okay, I'm just looking
Oh,
here.
there's another note, and I don't, we're not taxed on it, but every time I think this is the second time we've had to come for this or whatever, and plus when we did it virtual over the phone or whatever, they have wall-to-wall carpeting. We've never had carpeting in that house. From the day we bought that house, there's never been carpeting in there.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference, I'm just telling you.
I'm not sure if it does or doesn't, but, and that was on the interior floor 2 carpet? Is that what you're looking at?
It says, yeah, interior floor 2.
Okay. All right.
Never.
Okay. Of these here that you've provided, with the sales, let me just double check here. I see you've got some circled, some not.
Oh, those are just from my notes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because I wrote things down over on this piece of paper, like what they had and what it sold for, what it was years ago, and when they bought it, and now this year, how it went sky high because of the year that we've had.
Okay, so you have a living area of 1229, right? So I'm assuming the ones that are circled with living square footage are close
Yes.
to the ones that yours are. Okay.
You're talking about this from the sale list,
Yeah.
not this. The houses that sold in our area.
And then let me just see here. Square footage, and then let's go back here for the land. Just so I can, when I present this to the board,
Oh, I know.
we can have comps.
Quarter acre.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like across the street, they have, and even a couple on our street, they have, the acre or half acre or whatever. And I know this goes by houses, it's not going by the property,
Mhm.
but how can theirs go down when they have more land? I don't get it. I don't get it. That's Ann's house, where they have the pool deck, the deck from the pool. None of that's on their land thing, nothing. And their taxes went down. But their appraisal went down and they got more property and a double house.
Is that one that sold recently?
No, it's across the street from us, actually. Well, yeah, it's considered a cape, so I can bring it up. It's across the street from us.
Okay.
It's considered a cape. It's a two-family. They have so many things there that's not even on their plan, on this thing here.
Yeah.
And their taxes went down. They had a swimming pool. They filled it in. They have a huge concrete cement deck in the back, all fenced in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They have another garage behind their garage, and their taxes went down. Everything went down.
Is that, what number of house is that?
150.
150.
Okay.
And it says like in-law apartment because it's hooked onto their house, but it is another apartment that is rented out or can be rented out.
Okay. Okay. All right, just looking at this, that's the sale price for accounts there, Country, Jennings High, Borowski, Millwood, and Tuckahoe. Okay. All right.
Are we doing this stuff right? Is this how it's handled? I mean, did we do
I mean, really, what we look at most is the comps. That's why I want to be able to see this, compare, to see what's comparable to your house and how, the valuations go.
Yeah, but you really can't even go by that because that's like the sale for this year. People would have spent a fortune to get out of New York and everywhere.
Yep.
2 years from now, are they going to spend that money? No.
Who knows?
Well, I hope, because
Depends
maybe
if
we can
everybody
leave
gets
and
vaccinated,
get that
right?
much money because this is ridiculous.
Okay, anything else that I should know about to present to the board?
Not
I
really.
don't think so.
I just,
It said we talked about,
Okay. So here's what the next steps are, is I'll take the information you've provided here, I'll share it with the majority of the board, we'll deliberate about it and come to a decision. Within 7 days of the decision, you'll be notified via mail what the decision was. If we deny your appeal, then you have the opportunity to come back next year and appeal to the Board of Assessments, okay? If we do make a reduction, you're not able to appeal for another 5 years, which is the next reval period, okay? Either way, if you disagree with the board's outcome, okay, or the decision of the board, you do have the right to appeal in Superior Court, and that information will be provided in the letter you receive with the board's decision. Our goal is, at this point, to hear all 600 plus appeals this month, deliberate and come to a decision. So if we're able to meet that goal, you would then hear from us no later than the beginning of April. Okay, first week of April. And that's about it. The only other thing is if you could sign that piece of paper there that says I swore you in.
at the top where it says signature
Yep,
owners.
for both of you, yep. Top here, so it gets scanned into your file.
No, print that. That's that house off that exit. Going to the club off the 20. That's what
All right.
maybe I can turn that down. Because we're doing all that work.
Okay.
Your taxes.
All right.
Thank you so
very
much.
thank you.
I'll grab that, thank you. Have a good evening. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have
All
a
right.
good evening.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Come on in and have a seat.
Okay. This is really snacking at pizza.
Oh, okay.
Let me just.
Alright. So I'm John Spoliar. I am one of the 9 board members for the Assessment of Appeals,
Okay.
and I will be hearing your appeal tonight. That we're also recording the appeals.
Okay.
All right.
Now, want me to raise my hand or something?
In a minute, I just need to go through a few things for the record and make sure that we have the correct information.
Okay.
So, this is appeal number 74.
Correct.
Okay.
I brought a duplicate set of papers.
That you have. Okay.
What I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay. So I can enter it in the record?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm a teacher, retired.
When the property that we're appealing right now is 122 Wilton Road?
Yes.
Okay. The owner is Susan Bartlett?
Barrett.
Barrett, yeah. Sorry.
And then it's a life use situation.
Okay.
The judge of probate set it up so that my father was living. When he passed, I became the first person there with life use.
Okay.
Followed by my brother, 5 years younger, who has life use.
Okay.
Followed by, we have twin kids in the family, so William Barrett III is next in line, followed by his brother, Christopher John.
Okay. All right. The town has valued the property and the house at $466,900, and you are asking it to be reduced to $400,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, and you are the owner, like use owner, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now I get to swear you in.
Okay, so I stand up or?
No, you can just raise your hand there.
I'm a retired state representative.
Oh, okay.
And Board of Finance for 18 years, so I thank you, because we always heard about this group of people who do these jobs.
Doing this, okay. So do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Okay, so.
All right. Originally, I had sent in some pictures. I had a phone conference.
Okay.
With someone in town here regarding the assessment.
Okay.
And I had sent in pictures of my backyard, which is severely sloping.
Okay, hold on for a second. Let me just double check and see if I have that in the file, because it's not here in the... Okay, I don't have it in the file, the pictures and stuff like that. So,
I mean, they're on my phone, but...
Okay.
But...
Are you able to email them in?
They already came here somehow.
Okay.
The person who did my phone interview, that was the initial step.
Okay, yep.
I mentioned that the back lot slopes severely, so I didn't have, and I don't have full use of it.
Okay.
All right? And the other thing, so then I decided to find out more information, but the reason for the appeal is basically I'm concerned about the pending affordable housing complex at the end of Wilton Road.
Okay.
They're talking 32 to 40 units at the Judd property at 980 High Street, and I feel that will have a negative effect on my little single-family residence location.
Okay.
Because right now I think they have a problem with wetlands, but I don't know how they're going to put 32 to 40 units, but that's not my problem. I feel that it's going to impact on my neighborhood.
Okay.
And then I did come down to town hall and they gave me my property card.
Yep.
So, I did look it over. Now, I did notice that we have a few things that aren't correct.
Okay.
And there's no carpeting throughout the home.
Okay.
All right. We have 1948 hardwood flooring.
Okay.
There is a shed that's on the property, but it sits on a gravel base. That's what I was told I had to put it on. And it can be moved and it is not permanent. So
Okay.
that probably shouldn't be taxed.
Hold on for a second here.
I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. I just want to see here. So you're talking about the shed under outbuilding?
Yes, okay. And I marked it on the copy I have too.
Okay.
And the last part, the lot is not totally usable due to the severe sloping that exists. Good news is, our family never had a drop of water in our basement.
Okay.
So,
So
there's...
does it slope towards the house or away?
Away.
It slopes downward away from the house?
Down, because originally there was a bridle path and a farm that ran behind us.
Okay.
And it ended up, so even my fence, when Bill Marshall put the fence in, it kind of goes like this, but
Okay.
with the contour of the property. And, let's see. But I have to tell you, this is the first time I've ever appealed an assessment or have, I'm usually on the listening end.
Yeah.
And first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to review these issues that I'm presenting.
Yeah.
Presently, I'm a retired educator. I'm on a fixed income. I never knew what that was and I don't qualify for Social Security, so.
Yeah, because you are a teacher,
Surprise,
yeah.
and I didn't have enough quarters, and I was married, divorced, so whatever.
Yeah.
But I have the life use, which is a gift. It really is. And I budgeted for my long-term health care so that I can stay in my residence. And I have to say, I feel like I'm in the final quarter of my life. I'm 72.
Okay.
Many of my relatives got to the 90s.
Okay.
So you look at it
You
and say,
got a good chance.
I got a good chance. And I just want to say the other materials and photos were given at the initial phone interview. But, I do want to commend, I don't know how many volunteers you have on your board, but it's a wonderful process to be able to ask questions. And I mean, I'm not a realtor, and I see the little mini McMansions popping up around me.
Yep, and you mentioned that in your notes here to us about presently there are 5 oversized.
That's where, and that's when I sent the pictures when we saw them. But, fences make good neighbors, and that's all I have to say.
Okay.
I saw, my parents had me at Bridgeport Hospital moved in. And I think I had a lot of history in the other one where, it's a family home.
Yep.
My father was a veteran, and he couldn't get his official certificate until he had a sidewalk for the veteran loan.
Okay.
So he ran down the end of the block, they had cement pieces, he put in a sidewalk.
And that, okay.
And the home has been, my father and I took care of my mother until she passed away, and then he passed away 7 years ago, and I was basically his caretaker, but he was just, he had all his marbles, which, that's a blessing.
It is.
So,
there was one thing I wanted to ask you. Okay, about the slope, you said about 2/3 of it's
oh
severe
yeah,
slope.
I mean, it's great for drainage.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, we have the homes off of Katona Drive, Katona connected, because of, originally, they wanted to put cluster zone condos.
Okay.
My very first speech, I went to the town, I spoke at the hearing, and they ended up granting us just to have the homes, private homes.
Okay.
So, the neighborhood is, but it was funny because they said, wow, there's 2 sections of Katona Drive. Well, that's how that happened, because they cut through.
Okay. Couple things. Do you have any comparable sales, the size of your house or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
All right.
I didn't ascertain that information.
Okay. If you are able to within the next couple days and can email it in, we can add it to the file.
All right. So, do I have to sign?
Yes, I do need you to sign it saying I swore at you.
Oh, okay. I should do
As
that,
they
right?
say. The other thing is, are you aware of the senior tax relief program in town?
When I came down to get the card, someone came up to me from the office and she said, come back with your information. I was $2,000 over.
Okay.
All right. But she said, come back next year.
It can all change, yes. Okay.
And I realized that's something we offer. And as I say, I was on the Board of Finance for 18 years.
Yep.
And we've heard about all this stuff, and I said, fixed income. That's what I'm doing. All right.
Okay.
I signed it.
Yep. All right. I will take that in a minute.
All right.
Is there anything else that I should know about to present to the board?
No, I realized I called because I don't drive at night. So my 33-year-old nephew, I try not to drive at night.
Yeah.
I can, but I choose not to.
I don't blame you.
And, he was funny. He says, Susie, I'll just read in the car. I said, fine. But, the home has been in our family. The last neighbor that passed away was the original owner. And we bought them from the Zost brothers from Zost Drive.
Okay.
And the homes, we've got a Cape Cod, and it's functional. My father put in the hardwood floors upstairs. I mean, he did it himself.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I don't know where else I would live.
Yep.
But I'm trying to keep within a budget. And,
Okay.
And we all want everything. We want the best schools. And, I was a teacher in Stratford, and I realized there's a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And you have 700 people that are in need of your...
Yes. So here's the next steps. I will take the information you provided.
Okay.
I will share it with the board, the majority of the board.
Okay.
We'll deliberate about it and come to a decision. Okay? Within 7 days of that decision being made, you'll be notified in the mail what the decision of the board was. If we deny the appeal, you have the right to come back next year, okay, and appeal again. If we do make an adjustment to the value, you're not able to appeal again for another 5 years.
You know what? I'm happy that I'm here. I felt it was important to share key information, and it's a fair process, so I understand.
Yep. And then, and if you don't agree with the board's outcome, you do have the right to go to Superior Court and appeal it there. And that information will be in the decision letter that you receive, if you want to go down that route.
I don't see myself
Yeah.
leaning on one of my friends who might be an attorney there, you know,
Yeah.
going before a judge I might know or may have voted for.
Yes, exactly. So, so that's the next step. We're gonna, as you said, we have over 650 appeals. We're gonna try to hear them all, deliberate, and make decisions throughout the month of March. If we do manage to make that goal, we will be, you know, the latest you would hear back from us is gonna be, first week of April.
Okay.
Okay?
And so you want me to try to find those photos if I can?
If you can send the photos in, I have a note here to see if we can get them from the...
Yeah, because I did, originally they did take, you know, I sent them in and they did have them.
Okay.
I had a video conference.
Okay. All right.
But
That's
they
probably
said-
with Municipal Valuation Services?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then if you can find any comparable sales within, from basically December 1st of 19 to December 1st of 19
Yep.
to October 1st of 2020.
2020, okay.
Okay, you can send those along as well,
Right,
to the BAA at Fairfield
right, okay.
CT.org, and they can add that to the file.
Okay, I'll recycle that paper, do that.
Okay?
Great.
All right, and then did you have something for me
I have,
to?
this is everything I said.
Okay. Yep.
I just thought the school teacher made.
Yep, and I just need to sign that.
Okay?
All right, and you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's quite a process.
Yeah, I'm learning about it day by day. So,
Well, I tell you, I was a police commissioner most recently, and that was the best job. One, I have a retired badge, but two, I got to vote on future police officers.
okay.
And to me, that's the future of our community. It was awesome. And I even got a few stop signs put in my day.
Nice.
Oh. I said, you know, there was one over on Jennings Road, right near Borowski's Pond, you know where that house is that sits high, and it's got all the, it's got a pond.
I think so, yeah.
You know, we made it a three-way. At first they said, we're not going to do it. I said, fine, my feelings won't be hurt. then the next month, I'm in the truck, and they go, Barrett, we're going to do it.
Nice.
But you need it. I mean, it's...
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of traffic data
To prove it.
to prove it, yep.
Great, well, I thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, now I'll go home and have my hot cocoa.
There you go. Sounds good. Marshmallows or no marshmallows?
No marshmallows. I
Okay.
gotta cut back somewhere. I'll leave it to her.
All right, thank you. John Spolier from the Fairfield Board of Assessment Appeals.
Hi, John. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing tonight?
Good, thanks.
I will be hearing your appeal tonight. So I'm one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals for the town. I just need to make sure I have the right information here. For the record, this is also being recorded as well, just to let you know. So the appeal that we are doing here is appeal number 164. Is that correct?
Let me just verify this email. That's correct, 164.
Okay. And the property that we're appealing is located at 235 Zost Drive.
That's also correct.
Okay. And the owner is Alexandra LaRosa.
That's me, and that's correct.
Okay. And the town has valued the property at $460,800, and you're asking for a reduction down to $430,000, correct?
That is also correct.
Okay. And you are the owner, Alex, right?
That's me.
All right. I just need to swear you in here. So do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Okay, so tell me about the appeal here.
Sure. Did you guys get the remarks that I had sent via standard mail?
Yes, this is with the comps of 234, 250, 164, etc.
Yes. John, did you guys have a chance to thoroughly review those comps?
No, I have not had a chance to.
Okay. So what I did was I took comps that were extremely relevant. And basically what I mean by that is comps that were on the street, my neighbors directly across the street from me, diagonal from me, a couple doors down, 5 or 6 doors down, and then 2 that are a street or so away. I know that's the best way to get value is your direct comps, not going over neighborhoods or the other zip codes south of Post Road. I know things can change neighborhood by neighborhood.
Yep.
So what I did was I looked at 234 Zost, which is directly across the street from me.
Okay.
That town appraisal is at 458. So for argument's sake, we could argue that the town had valued the subject property essentially the same as my neighbor across the street, being 234.
Okay.
The neighbor across the street, for one, it's slightly larger house. It's an oversized cape, and mine is a standard cape. The comp also has 2 full bathrooms, and my house has 1 full bathroom. The comp also has a double-wide tandem garage. It can fit 4 cars there. There's some stone facade, interior updates to speak of, and the subject has original components. I haven't really done a thing to the house since I've owned it in 2014. The prior owners haven't really done much except for a few stainless steel appliances in the kitchen.
Okay, and this is at 234, correct?
At 235.
Or 235, okay.
So I guess the big things with the guy across the street from me that stand out to me, if you break it down, is they have 2 full baths and I have 1. They're a larger house, and they have some more updates inside. So I guess just with those couple things being said, how am I valued higher than that?
Okay.
Me only having the 1 bath and a smaller house. Just like, and those 2, of course, just kind of at the surface, kind of just raise a flag to me.
Okay.
Would you like to respond, or would you like me to finish?
Keep going. You're doing good.
Okay. So 250 Zost is owned by Bev. She's diagonal from me. They're pretty similar houses, but I would say from checking the GIS maps that she has the extra half bath. She also has the detached garage that I have. And when I had my contractors come by, because I've explored looking at the additional bath too. Right now we just have the one bathroom. I looked into the cost of this, and at a minimum, this was a couple of years ago too, it's around $35,000 if you want to cut into the rear dormer out a little bit and just put in a bath and not even touch the bedrooms up there.
Okay.
So with that being said then, if it's a similar sized house and she then has the extra half bath that I don't have, at the very least then, why wouldn't I be valued under the 443.8? Because she then has the extra half bath that I don't. So how am I not considered to be under even what 250 has?
Okay.
I'll get into the third one, John. The third one was 164 Zost. That is across the street and about 5 houses down. I mean, it's also a cape too. I'm just trying to compare capes because my house is a cape too. It's a little larger. It does also too have the second full bathroom, and it backs up to town land, so nobody can build behind you. There's more scenic views back there, and I know for resale value can be a very nice thing for people who want to purchase a house like that. Not having neighbors behind you, I would think, especially in Fairfield, would be more attractive. I have neighbors behind me directly, and I can hear the kids and I can hear their barbecues and things like that. But at the very least, though, say for example it's a similar sized house, which it is, at the very least they still have the extra full bath, and they're valued at $431. So again, my question here is how am I valued $30,000 over that, and why am I not valued maybe even 5 or 10 below the 431 just with the bath alone?
Okay.
So 306 Nutmeg is around the street. It's probably less than a half a mile away. That section of town too. And like I said, I wanted to grab the Zost comps first. There's a lot of people in town, I feel like, who would basically say, like, the woodzier street names that are closer to Fairfield U command higher dollars. They are just a little closer to North Benson. It just seems like, for me living there for a while, that it's just a slightly more desirable section of town than over the Zost and the High Road area is. And as you get further east from the university, you get less desirable. As you're closer to the university, you're more desirable. So this one, for example, this one also too has the extra bath. It's got an extra full bath.
Okay.
And that house it just closed too. I know you guys try to grab data within the last year or so for the best comps.
Yeah.
That house had closed for $435. So that house closed for $435. It's got the extra full bathroom again. And why am I not valued less than that? With the houses being a similar size, similar to your build, things like that. I'll skip Robin and just get to Jennifer because Jennifer is also just a couple doors down from me.
Okay.
It is probably about 4 houses away from me.
Okay.
And that one had closed too. I guess now we're at the 10th of March. That one actually closed a couple days more than a year ago for $427,500. Both that house and my house have the 2-car garage, and this house still has a little more square footage. It's got the extra half bath. It has central air. My house doesn't have central air. It's also a ranch-style home too, and ranch-style homes are among the most desirable because they appeal to all age groups for resale purposes. They applied to younger people, to middle-aged people, to older people. So there's typically more value placed on ranch-style houses versus where your bedrooms are on your second floor.
So you're saying here, the Jennifer one that was sold about a year ago or just a year ago, is very comparable to yours. It has a little bit more square feet in additional.
I'm actually saying I think that the ranch-style homes in particular, John, are considered more valuable.
Okay.
I'll also be honest with the timing of this house too. So this house had closed, John, on March 4th of 2020. If you recall, that was kind of right before COVID was really a big thing here. I think COVID was a big thing, maybe the first or second week of March. And what happened was the market had a period of uncertainty for about 6 weeks or so, and the housing market kind of froze. Right, so after that, I would say around like the middle to the end of April, the market started to spike. So if you wanted to argue it, I had tried to do the comparison to the pre-COVID dollars to the after-COVID dollars, and I had basically adjusted that valuation upwards and said, okay, if this house had actually waited a few months and sold, I think they probably could have gotten $440 for it. So let's just say for argument's sake, they got $440 for the house in a COVID dollar world. Mm-hmm. They still have the central air, the extra bath, and more square footage in addition to being a ranch-style home that my house does not have.
Okay.
So for all those reasons, listen, I did take my time to go through this. I really did spend several hours on this to put together the one-pager you have in front of you. And I think for a lot of reasons, I do feel like it's about $30,000 overvalued. I hope you see the same thing.
Okay. Let's double check something here. Okay. So of the three sales, you would say that the Jennifer one is the most like yours, right?
I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm saying that the Jennifer style, I would say, would be more desirable for the reason that, first, it's a ranch-style home, and ranch-style homes, from my research, appeal to all age groups. They're more valuable because you can have an older person living there or a younger person, and everything's on one level, so they can be seen as more attractive for that. Okay. That house also has central air. It also has the additional half bathroom, and it has more square footage. So if I'm adjusting the value with the COVID dollars in mind, just to, of course, see the other side of things, even at a $440 sales price, and you could argue that that might be current market value then, making the adjustment, then how would I be valued $20,000 over that house? I would think that I would be valued $20,000 under that house, at the least.
Okay. All right. Is there any other things that we should know about or that you want to?
No, I honestly spent my time on this. Do you have any feedback for me right now or any questions or feedback, John?
Well, here's what I can tell you. So the next steps are going to be that I will present this to the majority of the board members, and we will deliberate based on what you've told me and what's in the file here, and we'll make a decision. You'll be notified via mail within 7 days of that decision of what the board's decision was. If we deny the appeal, you will have the ability or the right to come back next year and appeal again in front of the board. If we do make a change, you will not be able to appeal your valuation for another 5 years, which is the next reassessment period.
Sure.
Okay?
John, do you see, kind of after my little presentation here, are we kind of seeing things the same way? Do you feel like the town got this one wrong, or what are you seeing?
I don't really know I'm just one of what will be at least 5 people that will see it, or that will hear what you have. You do have comps here that were sold within the assessed time period of 306 Nutmeg, 158 Robin, and 438 Jennifer. So that's gonna probably be where we'll focus most of our time on. In the debate.
On the sold comps there?
On the sold comps, correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So just to let you know, if you disagree with the board's decision, you do have the right to appeal in Superior Court, and that information will be included with the decision notice that you receive. To let you know, we have over 600 appeals that we're hearing and deliberating about and such. Our goal is to try to get it all done within the month of March. That's the goal. So if we do accomplish that, then the latest you would hear from us is going to be first week of April.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds fair. Do you think I properly presented things? Do you feel like what I'm asking for is fair? What is your thought after talking for about 15 minutes?
Yeah, no, that's okay. I don't know. I think you did present comps. So that is, that's a comparable sales. So that's really a lot of what we're looking for. So, again, I'm one of only, at least 5 people that will hear this. So, I don't know, what the other people are thinking, so.
Okay. John, what about some accountability? Just looking at my neighbor across the street, though, you have to please reread that paragraph right there and give me some thoughts over the phone on a recorded line. You have to do that for me, because I think it's clear right there. Yeah, that's with you on number 1.
You mean the 234 Zost?
Yeah. Please read it again and just give me your thoughts on a recorded line. That'd be great.
So you have here across the street from subject, comparable is slightly larger than subject. Comparable has 2 full baths. Subject has 1 full bath. Comparable has double 4-wide tandem garage. Subject has 2-car garage. Comparable has intricate stone facade and interior updates. Subject has original components. The appraised value is virtually identical. I'm having a hard time understanding how the subject is valued higher is what you have listed here. So I guess what to say is that maybe your neighbor is undervalued and we need to raise his assessment.
Yeah, but that's not the way to do it, because then you'd have to, if you did it that way, you guys make a career out of this and changing values of, left and right, neighbor by neighbor, across the street, down the street. You'd be doing this all day then,
Yeah. But that, so that may be, what we need to do. Technically the board has the opinion to do that, or has the option to do that, even though I don't think that it's ever been done.
Yeah, it seems like it would just kind of create a lot more confusion. But I guess if you're going off the comps, though, I did supply 3 recent comps, and I did even look at the other side of things with the Jennifer sale, and I did adjust the dollars upward to be reflective of the hot market that we're in. So I hope at the very least you noticed I was trying to be impartial.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay, great. Thank you, Alex. And again, hopefully we'll be able to, you'll see or hear from us at the latest by April.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks so much, John.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Okay. How you doing tonight? Good, real? Good.
Must be a long day.
Okay. I get paid nothing, so that's good, right? All right, have a seat there. Okay. All right, I am John Spoliar. I am one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I will be hearing your appeal tonight. Not only will I be hearing it, but the recording machine here will be hearing it as well. Just for the record, as well as making sure I have the correct information, I need to go over a few things. The appeal number is 233.
Is that on the? Yes.
Okay. And the property that's being appealed is 355. Is it Sigwin?
No,
Sigwin, okay, Drive.
Yeah.
The owners are Michael and Janine Pashewitz. Okay. The town has valued it at $458,000, and you're asking it to be reduced to $433,000. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the value, not the appraisal, right?
Yeah, the value, yeah. Okay, and you're the owners of the property?
Yes.
Okay, great. I just need to swear you in here. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so now's your chance to tell me on behalf of the board why you feel that the value is incorrect.
Okay, can I give you copies of this?
Absolutely.
And some of it's a repeat of what I've already provided.
Okay.
I just didn't know if I had to bring everything.
No, yeah, I mean,
So I thought it best.
we'll enter it in if it's not here already.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'll have just another one more thing I want to give you.
Okay.
All right, well, first of all, thanks for having us here. We're here too because we did go through the process of the informal hearing.
Okay.
And we really did not seek the relief that we were looking for there, and we really didn't answer any of our questions as to, that solve some of the issues that we have. I previously provided with you there, like I said, a bunch of documents, which was a short written summary and the hearing application, the reevaluation notices that we received, and also the one after the informal hearing, and the assessment appraisal documentation for the 4 comparison homes. Those are the sales that were made and used in comparison by Vision Government Solutions.
Okay, so the comparisons are the one on Pansy, one on Judd, one on Mayflower, and one on Marsh?
Correct.
Okay.
And then we're going to stick with that. There were some comparisons on Sigwin, but I think that the main point we want to try to make has to do with those 4. So today, I want to give you an updated summary, which is the first 2 pages. It's really just notes. I figured it better to give you. That's what I'm going through here tonight. You could see that there. And I'm going to give you some slides from a presentation from the town that was on the town website.
Okay.
That's at the back of the package there. And I'm going to give you a recording, an audio recording, and I want to play it for you today. I have it on thumb drive, if that works.
Okay.
But I thought I'd play it at one point. So I'm going to start with, again, we said among some other issues that we had on Sigwin Drive. I'm not going to hit on them, but I'm going to stick mostly with the comparisons. And we do feel that the town has really deviated from the model that they had discussed and stated to the residents. And I think I want to point that out as we move along here. And we know that the town uses what's called a mass appraisal model. When they're through this process, they explain the process, and then we're going to make a point that we believe they deviated from it. In particular, one of the other things. Well, first, I'm going to touch on all 4 of the comparisons a little bit. Okay. Just to bring up the main points, and I think I have it bulleted there. And you can see Pansy Road. This home has, considerably more, 146 square feet of living space, gross area. And this is all from the documents that are provided there that from BGS.
Okay.
Has an extra kitchen, we point out an extra kitchen, okay?
Okay.
3 baths compared to Sigwin, where we have 1.5.
Okay.
So that's a big difference. It has additional value on property of over $7,000 and $8,800 in additional extra features, none of which we have. We don't have any extra features on Sigwin Drive, and again, that's on the documents. And that whole assessment there, and I'm dealing with the assessment number really more than the appraisal, and it's $5,460 higher, that's it, with all those extras.
Okay.
So it seems a little bit, kind of out of whack with what ours was. Same thing on Judge Street. They have 112 square feet of living space additional than we have at Sigmund. 372 of gross area, an additional 7,560 in land value. Again, that's a big chunk. And they're assessed at $9,590 less than we are.
Okay.
Mayflower Circle, same thing, they have additional, that house is very comparable. The things I don't mention means we're really pretty much negligible, the difference, but we don't have anything more that's listed on there than the other ones. But Mayflower has additional land value of over $9,000 and 3,300 in extra features. And they're listed in more detail on the forms. And they're assessed at $17,500 less than we are.
Okay.
So that's, again, another large number. The one most of all, though, that I want to point out is 48 Marsh Drive. And you can see, one of the, when I have that first tab, at least I thought I had it on the first tab, is from, this will be the second tab. That just lists all 4 of them. That's right from BGS.
Okay.
There, and that shows the sale prices of all 4. And you can see where, 48 Marsh Drive, I know you've probably heard this 100 times, and I apologize, but obviously there's a COVID effect in real estate right now. I think we could all agree that it's smack in the middle of our, revaluation, which makes things more difficult. But this one in particular, because you can even see going back to Judge Street, which was the oldest sale, was prior to COVID, and you could actually even see the trend of how they go up in the sale in October. And really what I want to point out there is not only is that an anomaly sale, we think, because of COVID, March, but it took place after October 1st, 2020. So that's where we want to make our main point. This is where we think that the assessors deviated from the process that they had stated they were going to follow. The dates did not come from me or anyone else, and they came from the town. And they talk about on the some of the presentations that they gave about how the process is followed, and they picked the specific dates. A starting date, I think it was in January of 2019, Mr. Ross had said on one presentation, and that would end on October 1st, 2020. Those are his words, his dates. And again, that sale on March took place after that date. We kind of feel as if that particular sale should be removed from the process. And
in other words, that 48 Marsh should not have been included?
Should not have been included. It's outside the parameters that were established by the town and that were advertised. And what I have is on here, again, keep that here, Mr. Wood, stipulate this is his. But I'm going to play it.
Okay.
And then I will give you a copy here also. I don't know if you want me to.
I don't know if we can accept flash drives.
Okay.
So I'll be more than happy to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where you can find it. It's on the YouTube presentation on the town website. And it was, I had the date. The Board of Selectmen meeting on 10/5/2020.
10/5/2020.
I want to say it was even at minute 25, but don't quote me on that. You you'll see, yourself, I had other notes, but he speaks. And this is the pertinent part, I'll play it for you, is that okay?
Okay, that's
I
fine.
want to make it part of the record, because these are his words.
We don't do that because we're doing nearly 20,000 properties at once, and we do a mass appraisal. Mass appraisals have been in use since the early 1900s. They're used throughout the country and internationally to value properties for tax purposes. The International Association of Assessors has developed standards and practices, and the state has closely adopted those standards. In a mass appraisal, we develop a pricing model. The model is based on all valid sales for a period of time. In this reevaluation, we are looking at a period of time from January of 19 through October 1st of 20. And we expect to have in excess of 1,200 usable sales. The values are then validated. We use those sales to develop the model, and then the model is validated using several indicators such as assessment ratio, price-related differential, coefficient of dispersion, coefficient of variation. These indicators are defined by the state and are in line with those of the International Association of Assessors.
Okay.
Okay.
So you heard what I meant, right?
Yep.
He specifically said, I think I did, 10/1/20 would be the date. And whether it's 1 day or 10 days after that date, I think is moot. And, that's a date that was picked by the town, and,
Actually, I think it's that the 10/1, I think it's actually more state, but I could be wrong.
well, he does mention that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's part of that type of a model. I understand that they pick a certain block of time, and that's what they use. I mean, and they went beyond that date. So we really believe that one sale, which is also much higher than the others, should be taken off. And again, just to stress, they all have, or not all the houses, but most of the houses have, much larger living space, land value, gross area space, and enhancements. And if you look at these side by side with ours, I think you'll see why we feel that maybe ours is a little bit unreasonable compared to the others.
Okay.
So that's our position, and that's what I really want to stress is that, I do think the town, has made an effort, and they really try to be very transparent in their process. And there was a lot of material out there, and we had access to a lot of material. It's great, but if they're going to deviate from, the statements that they make, they're really not demonstrating transparency in the process.
Okay.
So just, want to kind of note that at the end.
All right. I just want to take a look here through this.
Yep.
All right, so you're not really focused on the 369 and 341 Sigwin, correct?
No, but for a matter of time, and I thought the more pertinent part, I mean, really, we do feel that maybe some of the homes in our neighborhood, we could have, and maybe should have brought in, but we only had 15 minutes here to make that. So I wanted to stick with what I thought was the important facts.
All right,
And the ones that
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I don't have any other questions. Let me just see here. I do see you did have the informal.
Yeah.
And it looks like there was a remodeled hall bath in 2019. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just was really updated.
Updated?
Yeah.
We didn't change any structure in the house. I mean, we didn't add any square footage.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I got a new stove and a new, refrigerator and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. I don't think I have any other questions. So let me just tell you the next step.
Okay.
So I will present to the rest of the board, or the majority of the board, I should say, the information you shared with me. and we will deliberate and come to a decision.
Okay.
Once we come to a decision and vote on it, you'll be notified via mail within 7 days.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cut you 7 days of, after you do the, not 7 days from today.
No, not 7 days from today.
Okay.
So we will, so you'll be notified.
Okay.
If we deny the appeal,
Yeah.
you have the right to come back next year and reappeal.
Okay.
Okay? If we do make an adjustment to the value, you're not able to reappeal for another 5 years, which is
Okay.
the next assessment
Okay.
period.
Okay.
Regardless of the outcome, if you disagree
Yeah.
with the board's decision, you will have the right to go to Superior Court
Okay.
and appeal the decision there if you wish.
Okay.
And that information, those steps will be outlined in the notice you'll receive with the board's decision.
Okay.
As far as timing goes of making a decision, our goal as a board is to hear all 650 or so appeals and deliberate and decide on them during the month of March.
Okay.
So if we do reach that goal, the latest you should hear back from us would be the first week of April.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, and that's...
Yeah, we just feel that we've been over-assessed. You know, we live in a very middle-income neighborhood, and, you know, it's just the comparisons are just a little bit higher than what we are.
Yeah, we're a little higher.
We're higher than, you know, they have more space than we do.
Okay. Yep. And I mean, you've got the comps that sold, you know, the 4 comps that sold within the last year,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
No, I did not sign this.
I need both of, I do need both of you to sign it to say that I swore you in.
Okay.
So
this is your
and you just need up at the top, just sign it, both of you, and then you're...
On the same line?
No, there should be 2 lines
Oh,
up
okay.
there. Yep.
Thank you.
And this you don't need, you're saying?
No.
Stuff.
No.
Yes, I got it right.
But I don't think we can accept digital. If you want to email it in,
I can't do that.
you can do that.
Who do I email it to?
You would do it to BAA at fairfieldct.org.
It's probably the email that you got.
Yeah. And if you can just, you know, put your appeal number on there, which is 233 in the subject that you want to add it to the record.
Okay.
They can do that.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what was your name again?
John Spoliar. Yep.
Okay, Spoliar. Okay,
All right,
thank you.
John.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good luck
you.
on reaching your goal by the
Yeah.
end of March.
It's going to be tough, but we'll try to do
I'm
it.
sure it looks like you are.
Have a good night.
All right. You too. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and have a seat there. Okay. I'm John Spoliar.
Nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you. I am one of the 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals, and I will be hearing your appeal tonight. Few things, and our phone here will also be hearing you, and being recorded. There's a few things I just need to go through here for the record, as well as making sure we didn't, make any errors. So the appeal number is 477.
Yes, correct.
Okay. The property that we are appealing is at 41 Bel Air Lane.
Correct.
Okay. And the owners of the property are Timothy and Jennifer Macklin.
Correct.
Okay. The town has the value at $475,500.
Correct.
And you're asking it to be reduced to $435,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you are the owner?
Correct.
Okay, great. All right, I just need to swear you in here. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Okay, so tell me about the appeal here.
Basically, I feel that it's the value, it's over the value, and that if I were to sell the house at that price, there'd be a lot of work that I would have to do to get that price. And I've included some pictures of the property and a lot of the repairs that need to be done. I bought the house at $435 and haven't done really much work to it at all. And then over the last 6 years, there's been some deterioration and some other issues with the property when I bought it that just haven't been updated. So I've included just from some estimates that I've gotten over the last few years from contractors, other ones, I just had kind of some people that I know come in and kind of give me assessment of kind of all of the repairs that I think I would need to do to kind of get the value of the house at what the town is valuing it at.
And that's the one here that, like with the pool deck, concrete replacement, patio concrete replacement, etc.?
Yes,
That's
correct.
in the file? Okay.
Yep, that's an invoice or estimate that I got. I think I included another estimate on the doors. The other stuff, like I said, I just have friends that are like contractors that have just given me like rough ideas of what it would cost to do some of the repairs.
Okay.
Basically, I just totaled those up, and that's kind of, I think, if I were to go to sell the house now, my mother works in she's not a real estate agent, but she's works for an office, and she kind of gave me this advice, and she just knows that when people are going to buy, this is kind of what they're looking, when they're spending their money, they're going to want to buy something that's, up to date and has all these repairs and whatnot. If not, so they're going to basically negotiate down to have that stuff done. So
Okay.
I feel like even if I listed it at $475, it's going to get, knocked down through those negotiations.
Okay.
I also feel like the market obviously is a little overinflated right now because of with everything that's going on. And those are just basically mostly all of that stuff's exterior. The interior of the house, again, hasn't changed since I purchased it. But, it's, I think probably the last updates were early 2000s, so it's not out of date completely, but it's not modern, modern appliances, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And I see you have this agreement document with Anderson Windows.
Yes.
Okay. Is that what are these upgrades or is it?
Yeah, so those are basically, there's two pictures. One is of the front entry door that has when I purchased the house, the woman before us had a dog that scratched the door. But anyway, the door has a large crack in the center of it, so that had to be replaced. I've since had that replaced. And I also had there was two doors, like a French door, that I also included a picture of, that was damaged from that dog, but also just it was like a leaky door, drafty door that was just causing some, heat loss and whatnot, so I had that replaced as well too.
Okay. And then I'm assuming the estimate from Lang Pools is what it would take to upgrade or to make the fixtures there?
Yeah, and the pool was built in the 70s, so the decking around it has not been updated at all, and it's all cracked, and I just haven't, it's one of the wish list things to do, but it's, again, very expensive to get all that stuff replaced.
Okay.
So, and then there's a patio that's kind of, in front of the pool area, that's basically the same age. It's all, I think, original to the house of the 70s, or original to the pool, at least. The pool was built in the mid-70s.
And then the horticultural services is just putting in some...
Yeah, it's kind of it's like a hill there, so the landscaping is not great. It's again, one of those things that I thought if somebody really wanted to buy the house, there'd have to be improvements done to that landscape. And a realtor coming in to have me sell the house would probably want all that kind of stuff done.
Okay.
And that was done, I think, probably a couple of years after we moved in. Again, it was like too expensive. We couldn't afford to do it.
Okay. All right, and then it looks like we have some comps here, 2 comps.
Yeah, those are in the relatively the same area. I think the closer one is the one on May Street, a little bit further away, but Andrew Street Avenue is not too far away. And I think that size-wise, they're about the same size as my house, and square footage-wise, I think the May house is a little bit smaller.
Okay. But about same year built?
Yeah, exactly.
Around same square footage?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like both of them sold in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
One, the Anderson was on
That was
3/24/20.
Yep.
Okay. And the other one on May Street
was March.
Yeah,
no,
May
sorry,
or June.
June 20.
Yep. Okay. Okay. That's your assessment there. Okay. Appointment. Okay. Let's see if I have any other questions here. And you said you bought it in 2014, correct?
Correct.
All right. Looks like, according to the field card, the pool was built in 1976.
Yes, that sounds correct.
Okay. I have something here, replace Sprint sign with, that was on October 1st. Does that mean anything to you?
Replace October 1st?
Yeah, October 1st of 2020, it says replace Sprint sign with, and it gets cut off.
Sprint sign? Is that on a document that I submitted?
I believe so. It's on your field card.
Oh, my field card.
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah, that's like replace Sprint sign?
No idea.
No, on the field. The field card is, yeah, I have a copy of that. Is that? I have 2 pages. I don't have that online. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it looks like building permit record under
That's
there.
what it had been for when I bought for the doors with Anderson. That was in October, so that maybe that might be associated with that.
Okay.
The front door and the rear door.
Okay.
Sprint sign off.
I have no idea.
But that could have been in conjunction with the door.
Okay. All right. And the in-ground pool that you have, the condition of that, what would you say? I know you said the deck has cracks and stuff like that, but...
We had that replastered a few years ago, so the interior is in good shape and the coping tiles have been replaced.
Okay.
But we ended up spending the money on that instead of, we had to spend the money on that instead of redoing the decking.
Okay.
It was like a painted pool, so it had to be stripped, and then the tiles were falling off of it. It was in rough shape when we purchased the house.
Okay.
So we had to make some upgrades to that just to keep it functioning.
Okay. All right, so a lot of so what I'm hearing is that, I would say a majority of why you're appealing is just the condition of the house. It needs lots of upgrades if it was to sell for $475.
Correct. And that's just exterior.
And that's just exterior. Okay. And you got the pictures there. You did do some upgrades, and the two comps that you have here, again, are pretty much, were sold for less than what you were assessed at, correct?
Correct.
They both have pools? Yes, they both have pools. Okay. One car detached, two car detached. How many, do you have a detached garage?
Oh, yes, one car.
One car,
Yep.
okay. All right. I'm just looking to see if I have any questions about the comps.
But one of the things too, I was told that sometimes and I don't know if this affects the assessment, that I'm kind of on the cusp, I'm closer to Black Rock Turnpike, but it's considered the university area, which if I am in that, is I'm very much on the outskirts. It's basically right off Black Rock Turnpike. So, and I know university area properties, I think, go for a little bit more than the area that we're in.
Yeah, I know the town, there's all these different neighborhoods and such. And so if you, let's see, I can tell you are in neighborhood 80. So my guess is, if you went to the town website, you could see where that neighborhood 80 is. And you may be right, that you're right on the edge of it, but you're lumped in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think the town can
different, of course.
Have all the different zones for everything like that. Okay. Anything else that we should know about?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
Yep.
So the next steps. Actually, one of the next steps is there's a piece of paper there. I'm going to need you to sign that to say I swore you in.
Yep.
So what I will do is I will take the information that you have presented and present it to the majority of the board. We'll deliberate about it and come to a decision. Okay? Within 7 days of that decision, you'll be notified via mail.
Got it.
Okay? If we deny the appeal, you have the right to come back next year and appeal again.
Okay.
If we do make an adjustment, then you won't be able to appeal again for another 5 years, which is the next revaluation.
Got it. Okay. Understood.
And if you disagree with the board's decision, you do have the right to go and appeal it to Superior Court. And the steps for that are outlined, or the next steps are outlined in the mail that you'll receive with the board's decision.
Okay.
Timing-wise, our goal is to hear all 600 plus appeals, deliberate, and come to a decision by the end of March. if we do make that goal, then the latest you would hear from us is probably gonna be, first week of April.
Got it, understood.
Okay?
Yep, totally understand, it's a lot of appeals to go through.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It's a lot of work.
So, okay, that's all I got.
Okay, that's all I got too.
Okay,
All right.
I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much, I appreciate you spending
You
the
can just leave that there, I'll pick it up.
Okay, great, thank you for your time,
Yep,
and, hope you get home soon.
yeah,
Long day.
got it, yep.
Thank you very
All
much.
right,
Have a
thank
good
you,
night.
have a good evening.
Too. Should I leave it open or?
Oh, you can leave it open, that's fine, thank you. This is John Spoliar. It is 9:07 p.m. on March 10th, and I am closing this evening's session in room 2.